Good morning, guys. This is John, AE5X, and a few days ago I received in the mail the Honda generator that you see here in order to power our camping trailer on trips that we're getting ready to take here in the next few weeks. This is a 2200 watt generator that runs on gasoline, and when I ordered it, I also ordered a propane conversion kit. The conversion kit came in today, and it allows the generator to run on either gas or propane, and I think propane is a better choice for small, infrequently used engines. At least that's been my experience. And there's no reason to carry gasoline with us. I'd rather not have to do it. Everything in the trailer runs on propane. Well, not everything, but the stove, hot water heater, even the refrigerator. And the truck that I pull it with is diesel, so there's really no need to carry gasoline other than the generator. And since I've already got propane for all the other devices in the trailer, I thought it made sense to convert the generator to propane as well. So the propane converter came in today, and let's open it up and have a look, see what it contains, and then I'll do the install. We'll see how it works. Okay, I'm set up here in the bed of the pickup. There are not too many steps. I've read the instructions completely through a couple of times, gotten the tools out, and I want to show you the one of the main components here. This part is going to come up through the case from the inside and is what's going to allow me to connect the propane externally to the generator. This part, this end, is basically a gasket that's going to take the place of a gasket that's holding the carburetor to the intake manifold. And if you can see inside, it's I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not, but the gasket, for lack of a better term, is hollow to a certain extent, and that's where the propane is going to come in and be allowed to go into the air intake of the carburetor. Okay, so first thing I've got to do is take off this outer case. Outer cover. And then I'm going to remove the air box and these two bolts. There should be a bolt in here as well. Okay, I put the air box back on for a second to allow the right edge of it to act as a straight edge, because where I drill the hole is referenced to the edge of the air box. So the tape just allows me to extend that edge up to here so I know where to drill. Okay, once the tape is on there, then I line up the inner part of the washer 1/8 of an inch from this edge and the interior part of the circle at the tape. So I can just see the tape inside the circle, make a dot in the middle, and that's where I'll drill. Stepper bit makes this so easy. I'm drilling a 9/16 inch hole, by the way. Okay, for the next step, I take the piece I showed you a second ago, put the first washer on it. Well, first of all, I should route it behind these black fuel lines. Put the washer on it, put it up through the hole I just drilled. Second washer goes on top, and then the gas input fitting threads onto it. And the threads are already coated, so I don't have to use Teflon tape. Okay, once the new propane line is routed, remove the old gasket from the carburetor and put on a new one. Then put on the propane line, and then the new gasket, another new gasket. So it's gasket, propane line, gasket. Okay, after that's on, I'll put the air box back on. Okay, you may notice that the bolts don't extend all the way out from the nut like they did before. That's okay. They recommend, if you are worried about it, to put thread lock on it so they don't vibrate loose, but that they at Hutch Mountain usually or never put thread lock on it, and they've never had a problem with them vibrating loose, so I'm not going to use thread lock here either. Okay, everything's buttoned back. Put the primary air filter back in. Did it go like that or like that? Like this. Okay, let's start it up on gas and run the gas out of the carburetor and then switch to propane. Okay, I've got one more step to go, and that is I have to replace the decal here from the stock Honda decal, which is on, fuel off, but engine still running, ignition still on, or off altogether. Normally when you're running, of course, you're in the on position, and then you should go here and let the engine die. That burns the rest of the gas out of the fuel line and the carburetor, and the engine will then die at that point, and you can go ahead and turn it all the way off. But now there's a new sticker, and we're going to put that on there to correspond with the modification that we made. And here is that new sticker. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can read it. Okay, so the new sticker's on, and that's gasoline on, propane position, which is gas off, and then engine off altogether. All right, let's test this thing out. Okay, as you can see, I'm running on gas right now. Propane bottle is not connected, so let me turn the gas off. And I'll let the engine run out of the carburetor and fuel lines. It should die here in just a minute without gas or propane now being fed to it. Okay, that took about 2 minutes. All right, we're going to leave propane setting, gas off. Turn on the propane. prime the regulator and start. Choke is off. Even from a cold start, the choke is never used with propane. All right, let's see if it starts. Beautiful. And they recommend when stopping the generator, rather than turning the engine off, which would stop it, to just disconnect the propane, and that way any residual propane in the lines burns on out before the engine runs. So let me do that now. All right, I like it. Pretty easy installation, and benefits of propane are, for one, there's no shelf life. It doesn't gunk up the carburetor or the needle valve, any of the small parts, the fuel line, anything. And I never need additives like gas treatment or anything. That bottle of propane, if I left it alone and came back in 20 years, it would still be perfectly good to use. So anyway, I think this will be a good modification for the generator. I'll let you know in a few weeks or months. 73.